皆さん、こんにちは。この動画へようこそ。私は薄地のれです。日本語を勉強しています。みんなの日本語という教科書は自分で日本語を勉強するためにすごく便利です。でも、わかりにくいところがあります。このビデオではわかりやすく説明したいです。はい。I also used the textbook when I started off learning my Japanese, and it was really, really helpful because it has, the grammar points, and it also has so much vocabulary that you get to, familiarize with and use while you're using the book. And so it's really, really helpful. But I noticed that to an English speaker, it could be a little complicated, and so I decided to do a series of videos such that I explain it in a very easy way to understand. And I'm believing that from an English speaker perspective, it might be easier for you to understand the textbook after watching my videos. That is the goal of the videos. So it's going to be from lesson 1 to lesson 25. So if you're a complete beginner that is looking for how to study your Japanese, even if you do not have the textbook, if you follow these videos, you will really be able to understand the concepts that were discussed in the textbook, because I'll be doing all the vocabulary and also explaining all the grammar points such that you can understand. So if you are interested in learning Japanese and you're a beginner, make sure you like this video, make sure you share it with your friends that are also interested in learning Japanese, and make sure you follow and comment whatever you don't understand. Just leave it in the comment section and I will give you an answer. じゃあ始めましょう。皆さん、ようこそ。このビデオでは、みんなの日本語レッスン1の語彙についてです。1、私。私。例えば、私は薄地の例です。はい。It is like I or me. There are other ones that can be used like boku, ore, or atashi. Boku is majorly used by guys. Atashi is usually majorly used by ladies, just to sound, feminine. But the general one that almost everybody uses is watashi. Anata. Anata, which is you. Anata. Now, however, when you are referring to somebody, you usually don't use anata. Most specifically, when you're referring to somebody or when you want to ask somebody a question, you will usually use the person's name. So, 例えば、おすじのれさん、今日はどうですか? Preferably, the person's name and the son. どうですか? はい。あの人 hito, that person. Hito, that person. Now, the polite one or the polite form is anokata. Hito wa dare desu ka? Hito wa dare desu ka? That's the casual form. But if you want to make it polite, anokata wa donata desu ka? Anokata wa donata desu ka? Hito, anokata. San. This is like a polite honorific that is attached to names. So, san. 例えば、うすじのれさん、マイクさん、Yamada-san. It becomes Mr. Yamada or Mrs. Yamada. So it just attaches the honorific, to the names. Chang. This is also used as an attachment, as a suffix. It's an attachment, and most times chan is used for children or female friends or family members. So osijinare-chan, osijinare-chan, something like that. Jin. This is a national or a person from so place. 例えば、アメリカ人です。マイクはアメリカ人です。So, Jin or Nihon Jin, a person from Japan. America Jin, a person from America. Jin. Sensei. This is used to, it's like teacher or instructor. So it doesn't just stop at teacher. So doctors can also be called sensei, they're instructors also. So this doesn't just stop at just the teacher. However, you need to be careful when you are talking about yourself as a teacher, you don't use sensei. There is a different vocabulary that is used for a teacher as an occupation, but this is used to address teachers, and it's like a very polite way to address teachers and instructors. Exactly. So when you want to address yourself, this is the one we use. Kyoshi. Kyoshi. This is like a teacher or an instructor. So if you want to address yourself like, I am a teacher. Watashi wa kyoshi desu. I am a teacher. Different from sensei. Hai. Gakusei. 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 This is a student. Gakusei is student. 生です。私は東北大学の学生です。はい。学生。会社員。会社員。会社員。This is a company employee. 会社 is company. 会社員 company employee. 社員 is an employee of a company. 社員 an employee of a company. 銀行員 Ginko is bank. In is employee. So a bank employee is called a ginko in. Isha. Isha is called, it's medical doctor. Isha, medical doctor. Kenkyusha. Kenkyusha. Kenkyusha is a researcher or a scholar. Kenkyusha. Daigaku. 大学。例えば、東北大学、東京大学。So university or college is 大学。病院、病院、病院、hospital。病院、hospital。誰、誰。Just as we said, あの人は誰ですか？ or あの方はどなたですか？ So who is 誰。The polite form is どなた。あの人はどなたですか？ Who is that person? 歳。This is a suffix for age. So 1歳、2歳、3歳。This is a suffix for age. Exactly. So this is 何歳。何歳。何歳。何歳ですか？おいくつですか？おいくつ is like the formal or the polite way to ask. So, おいくつですか？何歳ですか？ Then, when you want to reply any question with a yes, it is はい。Affirmative response or agreement. はい。Yes. If you want to say no, it's いいえ。いいえ。It's a negative response. Now, when you meet somebody for the first time, you would usually say はじめまして。はじめまして。はじめまして。はじめまして。It's like how do you do or it's nice to meet you. But most times it's just used most times at the beginning of your self-introduction. はじめまして。So this is から来ました is like I came from. So when I'm saying どこから来ましたか it's like where do you come from? So から来ました is used to say where somebody came from. So Nigeria から来ました I came from Nigeria. The next どうぞよろしくお願いします。どうぞよろしくお願いします。This is usually used at the end of your introduction. So はじめまして used at the beginning of the introduction and then どうぞよろしくお願いします is used at the end of that introduction and it's like nice to meet you, please treat me well. There's no real like a real expression to express that in English, but the Japanese people understand it. So it's よろしくお願いします or どうぞよろしくお願いします。This is 失礼ですか？失 shitsure desu ga? It's like excuse me, but, and it's usually used when you want to ask like personal questions. Like if you want to ask somebody their maybe name, you've not met the person before, you want to ask for the name, or you want to ask how old they are, or where they're from, you can always start the sentence with shitsure desu ka? Onamae wa nan desu ka? Shitsure desu ka? Onamae wa nan desu ka? So that's like, excuse me, but what's your name? Or shitsure desu ka? Oikutsu desu ka? It's like, excuse me, but how old are you? So just know that Japanese is a very, very, very respectful language. So you need to be very careful. And you're meeting a person for the first time, you can use this. Onamae wa? Onamae wa? May I have your name? Onamae wa? So O before the namae is what makes it polite. If you just say namae wa, it's impolite. You're talking to maybe your peer. But if you want it to sound really polite, it's onamae wa, or onamae wa nan desu ka? Then kochira wa brabra san desu. Kochira wa brabra san desu. And this is when you're using it to introduce another person. For instance, I'm standing with a friend and this other person knows me. So I'm like, konnichiwa, kochira wa Elizabeth san desu. This is so person. This is Mr. so person. Or this is Mrs. Elizabeth. So kochira wa Elizabeth san desu. Now we go to the names of some countries. And country names are usually written in katakana. So this is America, which is the United States of America. Then we have Igiris, which is the United Kingdom. India. Indonesia. That's Indonesia. Kankoku is South Korea. Thai is Thailand. Chugoku, this is China. It's also written in hiragana and kanji. Chugoku. Doitsu. The thing with katakana is that you can never get used to it. You cannot say, oh, this is the pattern it follows. Like this one, Germany, totally different. Doitsu, Germany. Nihon, the land of the rising sun, Japan. Nihon. Brazil. Brazil. And I'm going to add my own. Nigeria. Ja, owarimashita. So let me know in the comment section. You can also add your country. You can find the katakana for your country and add it in the comment section. See you in my next video. Matane!